Hello, ladies and gentlemen. With you today, Engineer Khalid Mohammed Mahrous. I will be your speaker for the subject of optimizing services with digital twin for today. Let me introduce myself first. I'm currently a BIM manager for Duane Architects and Engineers, and I worked for 14 years in the field of AIC, so construction, structural design, civil engineering, and of course BIM management by now. So let's go for our next slide. I chose the framework of WH Word, which is what, when, why, and how, to simplify the all subjects and to have a clear vision and insight through our subject today. It would be first what is so it would be first what is the digital twin and what was before. So what was before was the equivalent, the physical prototyping and mocking up. First, if we see as an example the founder from the movie The Founder, the Mac browser trials to simulate the process through their kitchen with using their stuff. And that what reach through many trials the fast food industries that we know by now, when you can take your food in a couple of minutes than before. Second one, second example is from my previous work as a structural design engineer in James Cubit Ltd. for the project of Kahramoto Lab, which was a structural design of steel structural design in the shape of a leaf for as a roof for a concrete building of the Kahramoto Lab, which was custom ordinary design. To its effect, so designed by me. And as you can see, there are differences between the prototype and the structural designs that I did. There were cables and the frames, and this cable and the frames was for the resist of uplift wind. But of course, because of the scale of the prototype and the material was available at the time, the simulation was not in the most appropriate way, and it was enough as a visual as we can see. So by now we can understand what is digital twin. Digital twin is a virtual replica of our asset. It's not physical as we can see before. And best example I can give it to you is of course the future factory of the future for BMW in the car industry. When they have where they have digital twins that they can apply it for all their factories, having making what if scenarios and what if trials for their products before it go to life, and even monitor their machines in real life to see is there any flows you can avoid after and can have solution for better performance, of course. So we can now think about what are the types and the maturity level of digital twin. First one is of course a descriptive twin, which is a static status presentation of digital twin. A 3D model for a building, and mostly we loaded with information for facility management, and maybe through time, through events, you can update that model. Second one is informative twin, which is dynamic, which it's taking real-time data and historical data through sensors. Best example, for example, HVAC duct unit airflows that we try to measure through the sensor, and it's updated in the model. Third level is predictive twin. It's of course the same as the dynamic, but through AI integration, it can predict us with flows that cabin breakdowns that could happen and require maintenance through the life of the asset. Fourth one is comprehensive twin. It's a holistic twin, managing multi assets at the same time. Best example for that is smart cities by now, which we can manage traffic through the digital twin, check for better urban planning, check for the internet coverage before go to the uh, physical prototypes, of course. Fifth and last is autonomous, which is no human interface. And best example for this now is auto-drive cars, where it decision by itself based on traffic and based on weather and so. And there is no human interface in such one, and the digital twin itself take the action. So of course, for the win and the industrial applications, there are multi from the EC to agriculture to retail and so on. So, but today we will focus on three applications which through my career I touched. Which, and let's begin with the first one. Of course, construction, where I'm living this daily on daily basis, and I choose for use augmented reality. Augmented reality mostly is a replica of a model of BIM models for site inspection, for example. And you can see it's not purely a digital twin, but it's the lens of the digital twin. The lens where we can see our model and so geometry and information on site. And through that, we can plan for our work on site, checking, for example, openings that will be needed for MEP, checking what will be needed, supporting or accessories for next work of MEP, and prepare our work for site in the same way, checking for if there are flaws need to be rectified before it go to site and we have rework. And of course, facility management. Facility management after there are as built model and we made handing over. We have a model for our asset that connected to sensors, for example, and monitor our assets through, especially MEP. Second study, you can see manufacturing, and if we can see what digital twin is doing, like in the Siemens case, they are using now digital twin for assembly, showing the movement and the work of their equipment before it go to physical, and even connected to sensors to take measurements that was not really easy to take before, like thermal measurement and the stresses that happen through the motors. For example, also the aeroplanes designs, checking against airflow, dynamic airflow, and before the physical, of course, production of this. Third one, which is energy and utilities, and I choose the water treatment plant because I personally worked for 5 years in this industry. And to tell you the fact, in water treatment plant, you will see everything. You will see manufacturing, of course. Mostly 80% of water treatment plant are based on MEP equipment that's sometimes customized. Not all will be just supplied from a supplier. Pumps, SOU fans, GRP tanks, surge vessels, and SCADA system. So MCC panel is the brain of the water treatment plant. I used to recognize it in this way. So the third thing that's really important was for me is the process and operation to show you. And it's a really not easy task for operator because it happens on daily basis, 24 hours. You have to avoid any breakdown in this industry because of course if having a breakdown it will be a national crisis. So in our example for by Dito, we can see as given example for water tank where the level of water should not be exceed for a limit, and to control this the operator will have options. One of the options to go to let water excessive water go to bypass through a bypass to a river, which will affect the river as environmental wise, or to make another pump to push the water that's coming, and this will make a cost or raise the cost. And of course, through D2, we can make scenarios and check combining between this solution to reach the optimum solution that will also will not cost that much, will not affect more in the environment, and avoid any breakdowns. So we come to the why, and of course by now it will explain itself. We will improve our operation. We will have a better decision in quality and as faster. Accelerate the process more. Process development. We have multi trials we can do virtually before going to the actual, and that will improve our product design and increase our efficiency, of course. So we reach the how, and through the how, of course, first how it's created, and we can say by now we have an asset and we have a model that it's a replica of the asset, and through IoT technology platform. 1 minute. So for how we can create it, of course we have an asset, we have a model replica to this asset, and of course through IoT technology platform we have our digital twin. So for example, Autodesk Tandem, you can see our digital twin taking data through the IoT technology. IoT is short term for Internet of Things, which are, for example, sensors that connected to your asset taking data from it. For this is for the how. Now for the implementation. There is a fact I always stick to BDCA even in my usual routine life. Plan, do, check, and act. And for the plan, we can see we need to define our objectives. What is our target from the digital? Why we need it? Just we will not bring it because somebody bring it or somebody trying to do it. It's not the case. And define our resources, the quality and these resources, how we will assign and how many resources will be assigned. And going for the do, it's mostly the implementation of the digital one. Implementation process collecting data through the process and monitor what is the performance. So after that, check, we analyze the results and validate the accuracy of the results, how it's accuracy or not. And cross check it with real world outcomes. If it's matching, it's calibration for our distance. So for the fourth is act. The act is not about just I have an outcome and make analysis for this outcome and insight for it. It's also to how I will re-improve my experiment in digital twin, and the size. If there is a resize for digital twin, I will expand and apply for everything, or make it more limited for only the major sometime. And of course the storing of the lesson learned through the whole process. So coming to the common challenges. Of course, life is not easy when anyone. So I choose for you 5 common challenges. First example, of course, is the cost. Most of us know this. That always it's a cost of quality. The BIM and digital BIM, and it's mostly through tenders. Some of tenders, it's just a scope that could have a percentage, 20%, and not defined when it will start and when it will end. Sometimes it happens like that. And through time, it couldn't the scoped part by part. So for the ease of handing over, this is the weird thing that's put on. Second one is high management, or sorry, the generation gap. Generation gap, of course, between each generation by now, there is gaps. The younger generations than me, which are now from 20 to 30, is different than me now. I'm generation of 30 to 40, and we have the higher, which is 50 to 60, which is your in mostly more high management. And it is a fact, they think you don't see BIM and digital twin like us. Say that something new popped up to them, and it's something separate. It's not for the control of the project. Maybe a lot of them think it's just modeling. So, and of course, the third one, the developer and users. Sometimes we have softwares and platforms that not helping us. I think most of the time their experiment for software before release was in small building. Then to take their time to apply it for a giga project, and this causes sometimes flaws in the application of the digital one and in the application of BIM itself. The fourth is applicants, the BIM expert, that I'm one of them, and I can summarize this in two small sentences. One, I heard some of the time that I will wait for the site team to modify on site, then I will update in my model. This is one. Second one, I'm a BIM manager with 5 years of experience with only architecture background. So we have among us in the market resources that not don't have even technical uh, technical backgrounds that enough for them to coordinate and understand the relation with other stakeholders in the project, or even they know what they should do, but they don't know it. The attitude is wrong. The attitude shall be that you should lead the team and other stakeholders should manage information between, and this is not happening. The fifth one, and I'm really sad for this, which is أين لغتي? Where is my language? I didn't see through my experience till now software in Arabic with interface with Arabic. And the problem is, if you can see it, Arabs are the origin of digits. Al-Khwarizmi is the first one. We use digit 0 in algebra and calculation of algebra. He is the father of the binary system. It's creating digits. So by now, from my point of view, possible solution that from the tender it shall be planned. The idea that BIM and digital twin is a process to control the project, not the separate scope. For the generation gap, we need to understand how this generation is thinking. And it is fact, if I'm a project manager and I put myself in his position, it's mostly 70% of his time is about communication to monitor and achieve three things: less time, less cost, good quality. This is a constraint that all project managers must look for. And of course, by now we also added to them safety. And we should show them in comparison way how it be beneficial to use BIM process than the traditional way. How it could save time, how it could save, how it avoid any rework, how it would be less as cost. Third one, for the developer and user, I prefer most of the developer of software to coordinate first with the user and listen to the user and try to surface issues, to put the issues in their concern, not to wait years and years till the issue is resolved. So update themselves the whole time. For the applicants, and I think this solution because I saw it myself through my study in my master degree. There is a certificate for BIM managers in Italy, a test that they should have it. And the same shall happen in the Middle East, that each country shall define a BIM certificate. So we can control even the market and have better quality of the applicants. For the language, I think we have to start to make our own standards in Arabic. Maybe one of the initiates that happened in last January, the Egyptian code for BIM standards. It's really wonderful. But what I saw as a version was in English. I hope there is one in Arabic. And second thing, we have to go for the authoring tool to all platform to have an Arabic interface, because really our language is not just because I'm jealous. No, it's what makes us creative, what makes the idea more reachable for us. For the last and not least, it's how would be the future. And for how would be the future, and we always, by now, we live in this era of AI that was generated through the last 3-4 years. And as you can see, it's a video showing you that was given by my BIM head manager, Mr. Christopher Stock, where the AI is integrated in the BIM model itself and the digital twin, where we can ask the element itself about its feature, which easy access for whole information. And of course, as we said before, it will be predictable for maintenance and easy access for the process, of course. So, thank you everyone for attending today. And I really want to forward my thanks to Mr. Christopher Stock, my BIM head manager. He really helped me a lot through the slides. And have a good night, everyone.